What's up guys, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be doing a DSG service on this B8 S4. Let's get it. So for a DSG or S-tronic service with Volkswagen and Audi, it's highly recommended to change its fluids like every 35 to 40,000 miles. And for us, it's right about that point where it's time to change it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I have the parts, let's take a look at them. So we have 7 quarts of the DSG fluid. So I have the liquid moly 8100. So you can get these because they have the same specification as the original Audi Volkswagen DSG fluid. So I went with these, but you could just get the genuine ones if you feel comfortable. These are a little bit cheaper. The genuine ones are a little bit more expensive. Got my filter for the oil cooler. Got seals. Gaskets right here for that as well. I have a magnetic drain plug. I have a new fill plug with a washer. I have the internal filter for the transmission, and new bolts, and of course a whole new gasket for the transmission pan. So we have to remove this crossbar and use a size 18 bolts. There's going to be 6 of those. You're going to take them down and remove it just to have space to start draining and removing the transmission oil pan. There's a line right here. I think this is part of the power steering line, but it's also connected to the bracket. So right up top here, there's a 10mm nut. Once you remove that, everything falls apart. So if you want to lift, you probably can get that first before you take everything down. If you're on the floor like me, it's a little bit more difficult, but once you get that off, everything is good. Right over there, this is the external filter. As for the trans cooler, inside is the other filter, and then you have 2 plugs. So this is the drain plug, this is the fill plug right up there. So I highly recommend you start by trying to removing the fill plug first, then drain plug, and then after that remove all the torques around the oil pan and take it down. So to get this off, we're gonna use a ratchet and a 10 Allen. Yep, let's try to break it off. Good thing I started with the filling plug because that was really hard just to break it. I mean, just to get it off was a pain in the ass. But I finally got it off. The next step is to go ahead and remove that drain plug. Hopefully it's not as annoying as the first one. So we're getting out a lot of fluid. So it's almost finished draining. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and use a T30 to remove all these torques, and pretty much probably gonna use like a little screwdriver or some kind of prying tool, because it's gonna be sticky. It's gonna be stick against that, so you need that to pry it out a little bit just to get the transmission pan out. All right, so we removed the transmission oil pan. Not gonna lie, man, when you're on the floor, things are so much harder. As you can see, that black filter right there, that's the internal filter that I was talking about. And then to look at the oil pan, for the most part, doesn't seem that bad. It's pretty in good condition. You can tell there's no excessive amount of metal fragments. That's what we like to see on a healthy transmission. So I'm gonna clean this up, remove all the extra gunk and stuff off, and then we're gonna remove this gasket right here, and then from there basically start reinstalling. For the gasket, this is the new one. What's interesting about this gasket that it has 4 guide points. So let me turn it around so I can show it to you. So if you can see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this only fits one way, mainly because of the shape of the oil pan itself, so you can't really mix it up. So I got the filter out. It's right there. When you remove it, you kind of pry it down just a little bit and then pull back. Just giving you a heads up, you're gonna have a little mess because there's some fluid that was still in the transmission filter. And then I don't know if you noticed, if you look up there, you see something that looks orange. That is the old gasket. Took a look at the transmission. This whole bottom half of the Megatronic can be removed, but we're not removing it. Right here, TCU. Up there is where the solenoids that controls which gear you're in and all that stuff. So I was just looking at it. It's pretty cool. I wish I was on a lift so you could have a better view, but next thing we're gonna do is remove the oil cooler filter. Now I use a 17 wrench to break it, to open it. This is the plastic cover. When you get this out, go ahead and have the pan ready. You might have a little mess, but so get that off. See if I can get it with my hand. It's really hard to do it recording and, you know, using one hand, but you're gonna get that out and replace it, both gaskets and the filter itself. So this is pretty much it. We got a new filter, new gasket for it. It's also a gasket right there for the end of this filter. When you install this, you want to put this filter in first. It's gonna have a secure feel when you put it in, and then you have the filter cover right here. You just turn that and you tighten it up. Don't have to over tighten it, it's plastic. You just snugged it nice, and that's it. Install the oil pan for transmission, and I went ahead and started putting the fluid in. What I used was a syringe. So I actually bought this from ECS Tuning. It's pretty cool. You take the cap up top here and then basically put fluid in, cover this up. You have the hose right here. You just connect in the hole and you just pierce it inside. So the next step is start the car, get the transmission warmed up, and then we're gonna put more fluid inside. So I'm basically waiting until it hits 40 degrees, and just be mindful, once it hits 40 degrees, you're gonna remove the cap, the filling cap for the transmission, and then you're gonna go ahead and fill in the rest. Also, keep in mind that you're not gonna be able to fill in all or put in all the transmission fluid in. There's gonna be a point where it's gonna be overflow, so there's a good chance you're gonna put in like a good 2 quarts of fluid, and then like the last one it's kind of overflow a little bit, which is natural. And then once it start overflowing, you know you're doing a good job. You go ahead and fill the cap again, and we move on to the next step.
Many minutes later.
So just hit like 45 degrees. Lost track of time for a second there, but it is actually perfect time now to add fluid. So there you go. We got a syringe full of transmission fluid. So we're gonna connect this up. We're gonna have the car still running. Remove the fill cap, and then you basically just keep pouring in until it starts overflowing. Whew, man, constantly being on the floor sucks, but we pretty much put in all the fluid in. While the car was running, I put in the remainder of whatever is I could put into the car until it was like a steady stream coming out of the transmission for the fill-in plug. And then I'll just quickly close it, which is, be careful because it's really hot. Kind of burned my hand a little bit because it was right next to the exhaust. But once you do that, you turn off the car. I'm let it cool down for a bit, tighten everything, snug everything right. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's basically how you do a DC service. The final step, which I highly recommend, after you finish all this, you want to go ahead and start the car again and basically change each gears. Like give it like 5 Mississippis in each gear. So from reverse, neutral, drive. Let's go back again to verify, to make sure all the fluids are recirculating all the way through the transmission. And then you just do your little test drive to see how it feels. You can monitor the temperature, and that's it. If you have any questions and concerns, don't forget to leave a comment. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace.